Hi friends and welcome back to Gardening Suburbia. My name is Amanda and I'm a gardener here in Zone 6 of Cincinnati, Ohio. And I am getting ready to plant out some potatoes. It's a little later than I should have, but I have the seed potatoes. They need to be put in the ground. I went and picked up some soil because I'm going to put them in grow bags and potentially place one or two in one of my raised beds. We're just going to see what happens. Sometimes I go a little silly with the planting. This year I have been using Seed Time. It is an online seed planner. So it kind of helps you organize yourself, know when things need to be started, transplanted, cultivated, and then also harvested. And it also, you can plan out your garden layout. So I have been trying to stick to that. I have sometimes gone a little astray from that and just planted things as I've been outside. I did a whole bunch of planting, direct sowing of things during the full solar eclipse that we had Monday. It is now Saturday. It is beautiful outside. So I want to be outside. I need to get my lawn cut in a few spots just because the snakes are starting to come out and my dog uses the backyard and I'd rather not have him have a snake encounter. I've seen enough videos. I don't need that. And then later this weekend, I do need to start a whole bunch of my cut flowers. I'm going to start some zinnias inside this weekend, as well as some cosmos, some marigolds, and a few other odds and ends. So we'll see how that goes. I may end up selling a few zinnias at market. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely biting off more than I can chew. I started cutting boxes for giving my plants away in because it dawned on me that if people are going to be buying more than one or two plants, they may need something to put them in so that they can carry them away without worrying about it. I think I'm also going to probably do like a system where if they're not finished shopping at the market, they can go ahead and leave their name on the box. I'll put it in a spot where no one can grab off of those plants and they can just pick it up on their way out, because I think that'll be nice. That way they don't feel inclined to leave because they purchased plants. They can just pick them up on their way out. But anyway, enough rambling. I'm gonna get outside because we've got potatoes. I bought a few things at Findlay Market this morning, and I can't wait to share them with you. Okay, friends, so I was able to pick up 3 different varieties of potatoes from my local Tractor Supply. So I got a beautiful Adirondack blue, which is actually purple, and it has legs for days. This one, of course, does not. Let me just show you the inside of this bag. Here is that seed potato. Look at all of the eyes on this. So I could theoretically go ahead and like chop these guys in half and get more than one seed potato. I'm going to leave them as is. I don't remember quite how many or how much I paid for per bag, but it's a pretty good amount of potatoes, seed potatoes. So I got the Adirondack blue, my Yukon Gold, which I love these guys, buttery small potatoes, and then I got some more Kennebec seed potatoes. These guys I grew last year over in my little bed over there. I'm not doing that bed again. So that space ended up not getting enough sunlight throughout the season because I have a honeysuckle that grows right above it, and it blocks out a lot of that sunlight. So I'm going to resort back to some grow bags. These are the grow bags I actually used my very first season growing potatoes. They're like a 15-gallon container. They have a little pocket that you're supposed to be able to harvest out of, but honestly, it just makes sense to dump the entire bag out because the potatoes aren't going to just grow in that one spot where that pocket flap is. They're going to grow in the entirety of the bag. So I'm going to get those guys set up. I have 3 different grow bags, which is perfect for the 3 different varieties. I'm not going to be putting every single seed potato in those bags because that'd be a little too much for that space. So I'm thinking maybe I'll smatter some seed potatoes throughout the garden I just haven't quite, decided where I'm going to be putting them. I've never actually grown potatoes in any of my beds besides that area over there, but over there it wasn't great soil. I really just kind of did the lazy method, which is the Ruth Stout method. You layer and layer more leaves and compost or straw on top of the seed potatoes, and as they grow, cover them more and more. I got to the point where I didn't have quite enough stuff to top them with, so they didn't give me quite as much, which is okay. Maybe I'll try one or two in my original Greenstalk and see how that goes. Probably won't get very many, but that's okay. It's an experiment. Guess I'll experiment with my Greenstalks more this year. And then I do have some space available in like my flower bed, which might be a good option. Yeah, I think I'll do some seed potatoes in the fabric beds. So I just got some Black Crow potting mix for the potatoes. I'm going to layer about 4 to 6 inches of soil on the bottom, place those seed potatoes in, and then top it with soil. So not too complicated when it comes to potatoes, which is nice. Okay, so the first variety I'm going to put in this is my Adirondack blue. They're blue. They're very purple. Look at them. So purple. So I'm going to just gently put those in there. I think I'm going to put 3 in here and then just go from there. These guys were beyond ready to be planted. That is for sure. So I'm just going to top these guys with some more soil, and then as they grow and their sprouts come out of the soil, I will top them continuously throughout the season. All right, so the next space that I'm thinking about putting some potatoes is this fabric raised bed. Last year I did cut flowers in this, so I had a whole bunch of dahlias. I think I'm going to be putting my dahlias actually in the raised bed over there that I put in this year. And I think I want to do some potatoes in this bed. I'm going to be putting some more snapdragons. I have 3 different varieties started inside right now. I think I have the Orange Wonder, Snowflake, and Black Prince. So it's like an orangey, a white, and like a deep dark purple red. And then I still have, we'll see what happens here. This is a day and night lily, or not lily, sorry. Day and night snapdragon that was here. This bed, this corner, was filled with day and night snapdragons last year. I don't really know if they're all going to come back. I have no idea what this is. So we'll see. I do have a whole bunch of sugar snap peas planted along this side. And then I have 3 rows of, I think I planted carrots here. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember. There's a little baby right there. So maybe we'll keep the potatoes in those 2 blocks. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Because I have a ton of seed potatoes still left. So let's start with these 2 blocks with the Adirondack blue. All right. So since we only have about a foot of depth for this, and I already topped this, I already topped this with some good soil and compost or soil conditioner. I think it was soil conditioner. Not going to worry too much about putting anything else on it. We'll see how these guys do. So I might do 4 seed potatoes per block. These look like characters. Look at that. It's crazy. All right. There's so many potatoes. Okay. So the soil is super loose, which is awesome. Super easy to work with. I'm just going to plop those guys in there and hope for the best. All right, maybe I'll pop one more in the center. Okay, so I went ahead and planted some of my potatoes in the first level or top layer of this Greenstalk original. It is a deeper pocket than the like leaf planter. We'll see how these do. I've never planted potatoes in a green stalk. Some of these are kind of a larger variety, but I think with the space given, they won't grow, obviously won't grow as large if they were in huge, in ground beds. But we may get some smaller potatoes, which will be fun. I will need to make sure that I am giving this nutrients at like probably every other feeding of water, just so that it doesn't get depleted, just because the plants only have enough nutrients or the nutrients available to them in whatever soil pocket they're planted in. So we got some potatoes in that. And then our 2 pockets of the Adirondack blue here. I gotta put about five potatoes per square foot. And I still have so many more potatoes, and I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with all of these. Maybe I'll donate them to my sister for her garden, because there's quite a few in here. I use a lot of the Adirondack blue. I don't know. I'll have to figure something out. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on our little potato planting day. Hopefully we get some good potatoes. Those need good water, consistent water. So making sure that the soil is nicely moistened every single time that I notice that it gets a little dry. And then those guys will take a while to actually produce the greens. They'll grow really big plumes of foliage. And they do produce some flowers. Sometimes they produce flowers. The flowers are poisonous, but they'll grow all this green foliage. You'll wait until it starts to die back. You can like harvest it when it starts to die back and get smaller new potatoes, or you can wait till it completely dies back and you'll get some larger potatoes. Of course, that depends on the variety. So if the variety is a smaller variety, you're going to get a smaller potato. So here's to a year of potatoes. If you guys want to watch any of my other content, I'll go and pop a video up here for you. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.